over the trade, the short that I took today from this POI on the hourly chart. We took a short here on the second macro of the AM session. So at 10 a.m., price closed down below this PD array. And so at that point, I wanted price to retrace into it and take a short, targeting lower into this market maker sell model. So let's get into it. If we track back into the morning, 9:30 opened and delivered to the downside. We had some news at 10 and then we dropped lower. And then this starts the macro right here. Okay, so 10:45 to 11:15. And as you can see, we run up and get into the POI. So you might think that's a potential short right there. But what I want to show in this video is SMT at the SMR and how it's important to limit your losses. So this is SMT, but it's not at the SMR. So we have SMT relative to this side of the curve, which that's not what we're looking for to get short, to enter the trade. So you can see it looks pretty good. You know, if we zoom into the 15-second chart, you know, there's CSD and everything, and ES has CSD as well. They both change the state of delivery here. And you can see they're both going to the downside, moving in tandem. So otherwise, if there wasn't SMT at the SMR, that would be a good short. However, I didn't take that. Instead, I waited until we made a new high, and then we formed SMT here. So we still have the overall SMT with YM, which is irrelevant. What's important is that we're in this POI and that we have SMT relative to the SMR. So in this scenario, we have what looks to be a possible breaker formation with NQ, and then ES will be forming a mitigation, okay, because we have a higher high here on ES, on NQ, and then we have a lower high on ES. That's why we have the SMT. Now, I took this trade on the 5-second chart, so I'm going to show you it on the 5-second chart. At this point, we have the SMT at the highs. Okay, it's taking a second to load. So what I'm looking for here is a change in the state of delivery below this fair value gap. We've served as support, ran higher, and now I'm looking for it to drop lower. So it does that here. And this high is at 11:15 and 20 seconds. So just before the macro ends, so it's valid to get in this trade. Okay, as long as the high forms before 11:16, I'll take a trade. Okay, so the SMT here, changing the state of delivery. This should have been the entry, and this is why I don't put limits on, because you miss this. We don't get the retest. I should have just market ordered into that. Just market short as soon as that closed. However, I didn't. We are on the 5 seconds, so it's moving very fast. I missed that, and so I just have to wait. Okay, I thought I missed the whole trade. You can see in my Discord that this was posted all ahead of time and, you know, live as this trade was playing out. So I thought I had missed the trade, but what I did was wait until we get something back up into the zone and an SMT. So let's play this out. Okay, so we end up getting an SMT here with ES, and then it sells off. So at this point is when I entered. I took a short right around here. So once we came up formed another SMT. Price dropped down, which makes another CSD here. So you can use this high and use this as the breaker, or a bullish order block that forms support, runs higher, drops down below. Now it should form as resistance, should serve as resistance. You could use the low point between these two highs where the SMT formed. Okay. You can use this fair value gap and this mitigation block. Okay. High, low, lower high. Lowest point in between is the mitigation block. And then price runs back up into that. I got short on this candle, I believe. I'll show you the executions, but got short there, stop above the high. I think I actually put the stop above this high because there was SMT sub 3 minute in this on these highs here relative to ES. So you have ES making a higher high relative to NQ making a lower high. Okay, so lower high, higher high on ES. And then from here, the target to complete the market maker sell model are the lows down here at 1050, the original consolidation. And that plays out very well. But unfortunately, I ran my stop up too tight and got stopped out during this trade, so I didn't quite get the full market maker model, which is disappointing. But I got stopped out here, okay, with this candle. So what I had done was move my stop loss here. I'm going to turn off the SMT because it gets confusing. So now you've seen it play out, okay? So what I'm going to do is exit out of the replay, and then I'm going to show you the actual executions. So the executions are here. Okay, remember this is the target. So I entered on this candle. Once we change the state of delivery there, you can also view this on the 15-second. It looks just as good. And then we go down. We have SMT between these two candles. Okay. I end up moving my stop loss to the high of this candle, and then eventually down to the high of this candle, and I get stopped out. I basically put it break even, and it stopped me out. So it, 23,17925 is right there, and it's where I have my stop loss, and I'll show you in the Discord here the actual trade. So you can see I'm in short here with my stop there because we had SMT here with these two highs, but that shouldn't have been there, and I'm going to show you why. So that was the trade, okay? 3 contracts, stopped out, but I'm going to show you why my stop loss should have never been there. So in order for me to move my stop, what I would have needed to happen is price displace through this bullish order block, and we just didn't get it. Okay, what we were playing off of was this, okay, this discount array, and once we got down in here and started consolidating, I like to finish trading around 11:30, so I was ready to be out of the trade, and I didn't want to take a loss, so what I did was move my stop down, but it wasn't a logical position. It should have just been above the previous PD array here, so it should have been somewhere above this. Okay, somewhere above this, we got down below it. It should act as resistance. So the stop should have been at my original entry stop loss, which was here. Okay, stop loss there on the original entry. And if I would have left it there, I would have had a winning trade. But that's why I'm making this video, to show you. So what ended up happening, I get stopped out, it runs higher, it closes lower down below this PD array, and then just tanks down to the target. So, I got out at 11:32, it hit the target at 11:35. So 3 minutes cost me, however much money that would have been, a couple $100, $300 or so. Not a big deal, but, the thing that's important to learn from this trade is the fact that I got in late, so I missed that initial entry. Then I had to get on a second stage of distribution, so I missed the low risk sell. I had to get in later, which is not ideal. And then stop loss management was also not the best. So SMR at the SMT, SMT at the SMR, sorry. So the SMR here. Remember, we had the SMT with these highs, and then we drop lower. And then the other takeaway is just to keep your stop loss at a protected high above an area that's supposed to form as resistance, okay? So once we got down below here at 11:35, then I could have moved my stop to one of these highs, because price wasn't going to come back through this area of resistance. So lesson learned, but hopefully you take something away from that and it's beneficial to you.